Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. So, I'm going to try to crawl back here and track today on electric guitar for the song The Exciter. I don't know if I'm going to call it Exciter or The Exciter. I remembered that on the, I think side 2, or maybe it was the opening track of the album Lick It Up, the Kiss record. I think I was at the beginning of 10th grade, and we were listening to that on the school bus, on our Walkman. And I think it had a song called Exciter on it. I can't remember. I'm putting these headphones on, but they're not connected to anything. I'm just using them for sound protection because there's no drum track to listen to, and I'm following the metronome that the blinking light that I've got set for 110. I might bump it up at the end to like 113, but 110 feels like a good tracking BPM because this riff is a little tricky for me, and it seems like the natural way to play it is right at 110. I tried moving it up a little faster and it started getting even trickier. But I did on 2 mixes of the 5 songs I'm going to use for side 1 of my record, or 6 of them. 2 out of the 6, I think the song Here I Am and maybe The Lover too, I sped them up by 3 dB, and it just gave it a little snap. And I don't mind that I tracked it slower because you can't tell that you did it. I did it in Audacity, and I couldn't tell any artifacts or any problem with speeding it up. And I didn't speed up like vocals or anything. I didn't speed up tempo. I mean, I did speed up tempo, but I didn't change pitch or anything like that. It's just speeding it up just to give it a little more excitement. Sometimes when you're tracking at 1 BPM feels right, and then when you listen to it, it's like, don't want it to drag. Okay, here we go. All right, so I started thinking about it. This one's demanding to get through in one go. Plus the heater keeps coming on, so I'm going to be fighting a couple things. Just see how it goes. The other thing I was thinking I could do is just kind of weave in and out of it by punching in. I got to go back to the manual and just remind myself of the best way to do punch in. I think I remember, but the auto punch, but I just want to make sure I remember what I'm doing if I have to get into that. Sorry, there's a couple gaps. You'll see there's gaps in the riff where it may be potential for coming in if I keep screwing it up. You'll see. So let me just show you. So these aren't even plugged in, I'm just wearing them for ear protection. I'm going to be staring at this 110 BPM light. And yeah, I would put in earplugs, but I think this will actually give me more. Yeah, I can tell this does more. The earplugs I use only take off like 5 dB. These take off probably like 20. I can just tell. So that'll be better for ear protection. I already know what it sounds like. I've got everything dialed in the way I want it. The amp is going to be roaring. So we'll just see what happens here. See how it goes. Can't guarantee I'll be walking away with a finished take tonight, but at least I'll have conquered the, I've been kind of not wanting to do this just because I knew it was going to be a drag. Alright, so it's not going to be a drag, right? Okay, so all I'm going to do is let it go to about 4. Alright, just to review what I've got here. 2 inputs. One is on one speaker, 8 inches away. Another's on the other speaker, 8 inches away. They're 2 separate type of speakers so that you get a little different tone. I was using the MS-1B, but now I'm just going right to the Zoom, input 1 and input 2. They're both at 100 on the input gain, on the channel strip. And then the gain I've got on the left channel at about a little past noon, and on the second channel a little less than noon. One's like 12:05 and one's like 11:58 as far as a clock would go. And that's because one speaker is a little more dynamic than the other, or has a little more forward capabilities, a little more presence. So it puts out a little bit more impact, maybe as much as like 3 dB. So you have to adjust for that. No effects, but you can, obviously go through and use the effects, but I would never put like any guitar effects, like distortion or anything like that, or any of their effects. That won't sound too good. But if you wanted to go to one of the mic settings and try, big shape or mic, one of the compression things. I don't know. Those to me feel more like vocals. I know what my guitar sounds like, and if you had some kind of pedal rig and everything like that, I would rely on that, not the Zoom for effects. And if you check the pan EQ, I'm going to check over here on 17 through 24 and then move my arrow all the way to 24 just to check the fader at 100, and then I can go and take it all the way back to track 1 so that I see those 2 red lights there. If you move it, you won't see your 2 red lights to monitor output. So I had a video recently where I discovered on 2 songs where I had distortion on my tracks. I'd gone too far with the gain and peaked and caused a distorted tone, which isn't even a tone, it's just like an electric noise running through your track that's not usable. It's horrible. So I'm wanting to avoid that kind of thing. So I keep my eyes on it, and I've got the levels down a little bit from where I was recording before. Okay, it's about to get loud. Here we go. Come out of standby here. I've got it in the neck pickup. These are Lawler pickups. It's the blonde set. It's really brilliant sounding. The bridge is like really thick and pretty nice output, like 7 something. And then the rest of these are like the top and the neck. I mean, the neck and the middle are like 5 something, and they have that real 50s kind of glassy tone. It's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna let it count for 4. And then we'll just see how it feels to just kind of break into this. Let me just show you really quick what's going on. So I've got a main riff, I've got like a kind of a chorus part, and then another kind of secondary chorus or middle 8 section. But I do it twice, so it's kind of like a second chorus more than a middle 8. All right, here we go. Here's the main part. Screwing up is in that making sure that each one of those sounds the same, and it will carry the tune. The other part is this bit where challenges will be to not let my pinky finger flick this into the second position where you get that quack, which is cool if you're looking for it, but to have it start halfway through the tune is not going to be desirable. So that's another little challenge. Alright, so you see the challenges that are in front of me. Let's let it rip and see what happens. I'm going to count it. I'm going to let it go to 4. Be watching that that blinking red light. Try not to get mesmerized by it, and use the headphones to keep the hair out of my eyes, hair out of my face. Probably should have better light in here, but then it's really difficult to get the light right, for video and for ambient. So I'm just going to try to focus my energy on this string right here. Try to hit it clean and solid. I guess using some visualization tactics, like picturing getting through this, as opposed to feeling negative or nervous and letting this kind of nerve thing happen. Just try to picture success and visualize your hands going where you want them to on the fretboard consistently so I can get through the song. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. All right, here we go. So I already screwed it up, but you can tell what I'm facing. You know, it's gonna be tricky. But I kind of like that beginning, kind of letting the note ring out. I hadn't thought of doing that. It just sort of happened, so I may add that in. But you can see this is a challenge. I'm just gonna do the best I can tonight. If I can't get it tonight, I'm sorry. I don't want to bore everyone, you know, with multiple videos trying to get it. So I'll just do the best I can tonight. If I don't get it, I'll get it when I get it, and then we'll move on to drums. That's not exactly what I had in mind. that was it. I don't know if I actually just did that or not. Let's see what happened. Please let it have worked. Okay, so I'm gonna just start by hitting the project button to save that take. There was one little moment that was okay. So that saved it. There was one little moment, I think on the second go round, where I kind of, and I didn't get a perfect, but unless it's really bad, I'm going to be tempted to keep it, because man, I mean, I could try to do it again, but I've been in here before I rolled the camera, and I was just, every time I reached for it, it was barely there, just practicing. Okay, so let me just, off camera, let me just check and see if it's any good, and it'll be too painful to not like it while on camera. Just hold on one second, I'll be right back. Let me just listen to it, and then I'll either keep going or I'll play it back for you. All right, hold on. Okay, so close, but not quite. What happened was during the original kind of second chorus thing, it's supposed to go 8 times. So it's like you go 4 times, then an additional 4 times for the little guitar solo. Then on the out, I wanted to just double it. I don't know if I'll be guitar soloing, but probably singing it double, you know, the little out chorus. And I did it 9 times. The first time, which makes the song mathematically, you know, incorrect. Doesn't really matter, I guess. I mean, you could slip it in there, but it just feels weird to have it go 9 instead of 8, and it goes 8, you know, the second time. So, kind of screwed everything up. Plus, I felt a little tentative quality to it. I would have definitely lived with it if it had worked, but there was a slight tentative quality, and I don't think I heard any distortion, but it got close. So I rolled this back completely to noon, and this one to just a little less than noon, just because, man, I don't want to have that happen. And the signal was hot over here on the master. So I'm going to just go back just to, it looks like I'm moving it a lot, but I'm just barely, you know, inching it. Not even inching it, millimetering it. Okay, and even less than that. All right, so everything went well. I'm gonna just see if I can do it again. Can't believe I got that far. And I also can't believe I made that mistake. You got to start counting on these. It's like 1 go through, 2 go through, and think it through. And I also kind of discovered how much, you know, if it's not exactly perfect, how much of it I can take. So if it's too far gone, I'll just stop. But if it's just a little, you know, variance in the way I play it, I'll let it keep going, because I did one that was a little different. It still sounded good. All right, out of standby, and here we go. Record, play. So I goofed it up, but I also hear all this terrible noise. Helicopter or something. That's got to be a helicopter. Well, let me just kill it, so wait till that noise goes away. I'm glad there was a terrible noise going on because I goofed up the tape. It's a lot of noise. Hold on. Okay, that was a huge train, man. It was like blasting through here. Must be some, I think I remember seeing some train tracks over there. Good Lord, that was loud. So that killed that take, but as you could tell, I screwed it up anyway. And that's going to be the problem here, is this making that same mistake. So I got lucky on that first take and somehow screwed up and went 9 times instead of 8 times. So here we go. The pick slipped out of my hand. Whew. This video is long. I can't imagine anyone still hanging around for this. Oh, God. Come on. Okay, let me just play it back and see if it's worth it. I felt a few glitches, but the overall vibe was good. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I'm going to call that a take. It's not the greatest take I've ever heard. You can make up your own mind. Just keep in mind before you're too harsh on it, totally isolated. So there's going to be drum overhang, cymbals, bass, another guitar, here and there, and a vocal. So, man, this thing was a drag. I can't believe the first take. I actually don't think it was the greatest take. I just got through it, but I did 9 times. And that became an issue on all the times. I had to really think about it. I have no idea why. I did this for so many times. I guess I wasn't thinking. It didn't have to be perfect at home. So I wasn't thinking about the fact that you can easily forget to do that 8 times. You either do it one time. I did it 7 times, and then the first time I did it 9 times. All right, so here it is, raw and unencumbered. While I was sitting here, I added 20 on the chorus and 10 on reverb, just to give it the sound of, like, you know, a little extra room tone, just a little softening. I could add more reverb too, but I don't really like tons of reverb on the Marshall tone. It just doesn't really fit, you know, unless you're going effects drenched. But reverb stands out on my rig because you know, on the Fender thing though, for sure. No, I don't love my reverb pedal. I'd like to get one of those for reals units. Boy, am I tired. I can't believe that anyone would watch this, but thank you so much for hanging with me. You can see what a pain in the ass this is, you know. If I was a better musician, but that's the whole freaking point. If I was a better musician, I wouldn't be sitting in here. I'd be, you know, some famous musician. Instead, I'm just showing you what you have to do if you want to DIY grind and you want to make music. You know, you gotta. If you're not a great musician, you gotta just do it anyway. All right. Thank you so much. Next time.